The descriptive outline is a valuable tool for analyzing not only what an essay says, but how it says it. I like to think of descriptive outlining as looking at an architect's blueprints. An essay has been constructed to give a particular message, so you want to see if the author has left anything out, has left any holes in the construction, and you want to look critically at what the evidence he or she uses to have you believe one thing or another. To begin, define the basics first. Start with a printed copy of the article and grab a highlighter or two and a pen or pencil. Number each paragraph in the article if it has not already been done for you. Step 1 is to find ends and draw a line under that paragraph. Essay Writing 101 is the same no matter who the author is. The introduction will have the major claim or thesis, whether being stated explicitly or simply implied. Likewise, you will want to find where the conclusion begins and draw a line above that. The conclusion will have a rephrasing of the major claim, and it gives you an idea of what to look for throughout the body of the essay. The next step is to look for the various rooms. This is where the outlining comes in. Try to imagine if the author wrote an outline of his essay, what would the main sections be titled? These sections will all have a separate idea and certain evidence that is specifically placed to persuade the reader. Divide the essay into those chunks or rooms by drawing lines between them. And be careful. No longer are you working with standard 5-paragraph essays. A writer may take several or just one paragraph to present an idea. Look for transition words or phrases in topic sentences. Many times there will be flags like, however, on the other hand, one might also consider. Descriptive outline also has a specific format. For each of the rooms or chunks, make sure that you list the paragraph numbers first. Sometimes you are asked to determine the purpose of each paragraph, and sometimes you may just need to identify the paragraphs in chunks. For example, in the introduction, an author may use 3 paragraphs. You might just label it paragraphs 1 through 3. Or you might have to label each paragraph and determine each piece of the introduction. Your instructor will let you know what he or she prefers. Underneath each of the labels you will have 2 bullets, do and say. The do statements are the more difficult because here is where you are trying to guess the author's intentions. What is the specific purpose of the essay? This has nothing to do with any topic. In fact, the do statements should have little or no details from the essay. The say statements, however, are only about the content of the essay. This is a paraphrase of what the author has written. You can make this easy on yourself if you keep this list of purpose verbs in front of you each time you are asked to write a descriptive outline. There are others, but this is a good list to keep your focus on the purpose of the essay chunk. Do statements may include, the writer demonstrates the major claim by using a personal anecdote, or the author elaborates on the topic by using a research study from a major university, or the author establishes ethos by including statements from a professional expert. Notice these have no specific details from an article. The following paragraphs are taken from Jeremy Rifkin's article, A Change of Heart About Animals. In this example, we can see that the introduction is in the first 2 paragraphs. Paragraph 3 begins giving specific evidence, so this is a cue that the body paragraph begins there. Also, these 2 paragraphs are very general in their approach, and the dash is like an arrow. Its purpose really is to point to an important concept. In this case, it points to the phrase that is similar to the title of the article. This is rather easy then. The do statement for any introduction is going to be similar. What is the purpose of the introduction? to place the thesis in context. That's all you need. The say statement names what the thesis is. Researchers are finding that many of our fellow creatures are more like us than we imagined. This is the only time you will want to quote the article. The major claim needs to be the focus of the analysis, so identifying it will help you with that, determining if the claim was properly supported. Now look at the next chunk. Paragraphs 3 through 5 discuss a specific series of studies on pigs. What is the purpose of this? It might make us giggle, but is that why Rifkin describes it? Not really. If his argument is that the research has found that animals actually do have human-like feelings, this is the first attempt to prove the truth of that claim. So what does this do? Look at your purpose verb list again. How does Rifkin present the evidence? Well, he describes the results of a study funded by the fast food industry. The evidence say, specifically in relation to the claim. Pigs crave attention. They need playtime and enjoy toys, and they can get depressed. Some chunks might have more than one do or say statement. Again, you want to focus on the evidence that helps support the claim or addresses the counter-argument. How you write a descriptive outline. But why do it? This really does help you look objectively at the writer's claim and the evidence he or she delivers to support it. By seeing a blueprint of the essay, you have an easier time critiquing the argument. You can actually see which sections are developed and which aren't. You can step back and see if the writer has done his or her job effectively. It takes some practice, but after a while, enjoy writing the descriptive outline.